Hello, this is Sam Simon, also known as Dementia Man, and this is my podcast for the week of March 17th, mid-March, and we are launching today our semi-annual fundraising campaign um, to help support Bring Dementia Man to everyone who needs to see it. Just to let you know up front, if you donate through our website or the links that will be the website and the links that will be on the email that I send out, uh, it goes to Fractured Atlas, and we are Fractured Atlas is a fiscal agent for us because we are one of those solo artists or uh, non-corporate theatrical presentations that are part of their nonprofit tax-exempt mission, which is bringing uh, non-traditional theater, if you will, to everyone who needs to see it. And of course, that's our definition. And we have been a project of Fractured Atlas, and um, they too are a nonprofit. Um, and I'm so grateful to them. I hope maybe they'll listen to this because they have made my theatrical work possible, not only as Dementia Man, but perhaps you might not know um, that this is my second show. The first one is called The Actual Dance. That was done in 2013 to about 2022, 2023. And that was a show about being the care partner to my wife, Susan, who had advanced breast cancer. It was just fine. And Susan is now my um, cognitive navigator. Yes, you notice I close my eyes as I try to remember words. A quick personal update. I'm having increased cognitive issues, one of which is word recall. I'm in speech therapy. Who knew there's cognitive speech therapy? And everybody's commenting on the fact that the way I look for words is I close my eyes sometimes. Oh boy, am I off topic, but I'm going to keep going. Um, make this real. I want to make it all real because this play and this work is humbling to me. Um, it has such an impact on people, and I continue, as far as I know, to be the only person in the United States with dementia. I hate that word, certainly with Alzheimer's, on stage and being a voice for life, a meaningful life with these disease, and trying to help people imagine that you can live a meaningful life and add value not only to your life and your family, but to the science of the disease and to other people. So 3 years ago, as of July, it'll be 3 years um, since we started performing. And there have been more than 100 performances. And big news, we started performing virtually. And I'm going to use that as an example of the power of this play. I want to go back. We've been performing as of July, the summer of 2023. So summer of 2026 will be 3 years. We are booked pretty solid now for the fall. And big news, and you'll hear more about it. We are going to be in New York City on October 22nd. I think that's a Thursday. More to come. It's part of the Solo Arts. It's part of the United Solo, sorry. It's part of the United Solo um, Festival in New York. And it's a you have to be selected by them. And I was selected. And so I'm really excited about that. You'll hear a lot more and see a lot more, particularly if you're in the New York City area. Hope to put it, check it out. It'll be on our calendar soon, and leave that time free. And if you're near or want to go to New York over that period of time, the Solo United Solo Theater is a good thing to add to the things you want to do while you're in New York. But I want to give an example, and also, I think I mentioned this before. You can now book a virtual performance of Dementia Man. I love being there in person, and Susan comes with me. We have a talk back at the event. That's our preference, but we will not, and we are now available to perform over Zoom uh, for your venue, provided it is a curated room. So we just performed for I don't have permission for them to talk about it, so I'll just do it. But for in Michigan, in a small town, at one of their senior centers, they invited us to perform, or me to perform, Susan to be part of the talk back. And the way we do that is I have my Apple phone, and we go to Zoom, and the basement area of our home is a studio large enough to move and talk and have the theater, the performance, and it is always well received. And then the talk back is always good, but I will tell you that our talk back, our discussion in this time and in this place was unique. They had over 80 people in the room. They had two moderators, and it was an older audience. And we got, after 3 years and maybe 100 performances, a new question, a never asked question. And it was amazing. It was an amazing opportunity, and it's profound in some ways. So here's the question, and here's how we dealt with it. There was a woman in the audience, an older woman, who they brought the mic up to her, and she said, well, I've been having trouble recently with my memory, and it's getting worse. And my daughter's insisted that I see a neurologist. And an example, she said, is I was just coming here today. I was walking down the hall, and there was my friend. She's sitting right behind me, but I saw her. I didn't recognize her. I didn't remember her. And here she is right next to me, my friend. So I'm going to see, my appointment is tomorrow. Can you give me any suggestions on what to ask the neurologist? My first question back was, who is going to be with you? And she said, no one. My daughter can't make it in to come with me. So we spent some time trying to brainstorm with her how to deal with a situation where a person with a new and apparently significant memory cognitive issue is going to be at her first neurologist meeting without anybody in the room with her. I didn't want to say cancel. I think it's important to get started. But that was the first part of the discussion. How to find somebody to go with you. And at one point I said, you know that friend next to you? Hey, friend, why don't you go with her? It was hard for her. She didn't know anybody to ask. Then we and others in the room there, not just us, Susan and I, others in the room started making some suggestions. Recently, Susan and I have been seeing a new gerontologist, much younger than the one our internist that we liked our former internist, but he was one of these concierge doctor, and we were paying a lot of money, and now we have somebody. We chose to change and see somebody specializing in gerontology. But he's younger, and we asked. He said, "Can I record our session on my iPhone?" So I said, "Perhaps you could ask your doctor to record the meeting on the iPhone and send you the script so you could share it with your daughter." Um, Also, to ask the doctor's office, is there somebody who could sit in with you and sit down afterwards to help make sure you had all the information you needed? Um, so, uh, to me, the fact that we could help this person, and then there was this broader discussion of meetings with your doctor, what you need, and we did transition into a discussion about what sort of um, help is now available. I think I've mentioned before the GUIDE program. It is this issue of, will Medicare cover uh, cognitive navigators, or I mentioned in 2024, Medicare started covering breast navigators. And we talked in depth about this new GUIDE program and what it takes to get it covered. You have to have Medicare Part B only, can't have an Advantage program. Um, and it will cover it, but it'll give you an advocate. And they will then possibly be willing to have somebody by video on the room, on on a phone with you in your meeting with the doctor, if that's all you have. So, um, but back to Dementia Man. I don't know if this person would have had that help, would have found that, because she was just going to go to this doctor's meeting, her neurologist meeting by herself the next day. So there are hidden gifts in doing this play. There are gifts to audiences that we could not imagine, but it's not possible without your help. And so there's another thing too. Um, when you give, you get listed as a producer. Yes, you too can be a producer at theater, and we'll send you a certificate marking you as a producer. For all gifts, $100 and more, you get a gift as a producer. And if you give $100 or more, you're also going to get or $50 or more, you get a free copy of Dementia Man signed. Um, but more importantly, you help bring this work to everybody who needs to see it. And yes, you're helping us put it on Zoom. So there is a Zoom performance. It's just as if you're in the theater, but you're watching it in a curated. So it'll be, maybe your church or synagogue will host a virtual meeting, projected onto a screen. Maybe there is a senior center, a community center um, in your area. The senior centers are often do these kinds of programs. Um, I'm going to perform live for our racket club, but maybe there's a racket or athletic club or any other kind of club that can meet in the community center with a TV screen and watch it together there. So that's our big news there. What we need now is your help. Um, Donations of any amount help bring us there, and certainly help us make sure we can make the most of being in New York City for the first time, but bring the show to everyone who needs to see it. So that's the beginning. You'll hear from us again. And for those of you who are listening to this have given, thank you so much. Um, we know one of the reasons we're picking this time is July 1st is often a um, budgetary deadline for small businesses and nonprofits. So perhaps your company or a place you work or a organization you're part of, a Rotary Club might vote to make a donation to Dementia Man. I know that many of the Rotary clubs around the country have focused on cognitive health for people. Uh, so asking for your help, hoping to come to your community and be part of your community's um, learning how to live a meaningful life as we age into our 80s and with cognitive decline and cognitive disease. So thank you very much and wishing you a great next week and be in touch. Thank you so much.